Okay, good day everyone. So we will be having a discussion about power plant diesel, topic 11, parameters. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so learning outcome 2.1, describe the key parameters and factors that affect the engine performance as per engine type and in accordance with safe working practices. So the different topics will be the power output, fuel consumption, efficiency, temperature, pressure levels, and flow. Okay, so for power output, it is the amount of useful work done by the engine, typically measured in horsepower or kilowatts. So the factors affecting the power outputs are, first, the engine design. So engine configurations like the number of cylinders, the stroke length. So it directly impacts power. So the more the cylinders of the engine, the higher the power. The longer the stroke, ultra stroke, or the length of stroke of the piston, so the higher also the power output. Also the fuel quality, so the better the fuel, the higher the power that it can create. So the type and quality of fuel can enhance or limit the power output due to combustion efficiency. Okay, next is the air supply. So that's why we have in our engine, we have turbochargers, we have auxiliary blowers, so to increase the air supply. So adequate air intake including turbocharging and supercharging can significantly increase power output by improving combustion. So it also affects the power output of the engine. So what are the other parameters that affect engine performance? Next, we have the fuel consumption. So syempre, the amount fuel consumption is the amount of fuel consumed per unit of power produced. So often measured in grams per kilowatt hour. So what are the factors affecting fuel consumption? So first, we have the load condition. So pag mabigat yung barko, maraming karga, or may bagyo na kumukontra ka sa bagyo, or kumukontra ka sa current ng dagat or sa alon, so tumataas din yung load ng barko ng engine mo. So the load conditions, the higher loads generally increase fuel consumption. And optimal loading is crucial for efficiency. So it also affects the engine performance, syempre. Next, we have the engine speed. So operating at optimal RPM can minimize fuel consumption. Both underloading and overloading can lead to inefficiencies. So pag meron tayong tinatawag na MCR, maximum continuous rating. So yung MCR na yon is yun yung maximum speed ng makina mo na pwede mong patagalin siya dun sa speed na yon. So hindi pwede na or yung tinatawag, or yung iba tinatawag itong or dito sa slide natin tinatawag itong optimal RPM. So it is the most fuel efficient na speed mo ng makina mo, na hindi ka rin naman madidelay doon sa pupuntahan mo. So maaabot ka pa rin doon sa pupuntahan mo, hindi walang delay, pero yung fuel consumption mo is na maintain mo sa minimal. And then the fuel type. So different fuels have varying engine energy densities, affecting how much fuel is needed to produce a specific power output. Okay, another parameter that affect engine performance is the efficiency of the engine. So it is the ratio of useful power output to total power input, often expressed as a percentage. So efficiency, meron tayong tinatawag na efficiency ng makina mo. So what are the factors affecting efficiency? We have the mechanical losses. So mechanical losses due to friction and other losses in the engine components reduce overall efficiency. So regular maintenance can help mitigate this. So thermal efficiency, so the effectiveness of converting heat energy from fuel into mechanical energy. So energy design and combustion processes may play a crucial role on this. We have also the operational practices. Proper operation and load management can enhance efficiency. Training for crew members on optimal practices is essential. Next, we have for parameter that affect engine performance, the temperature, syempre. So, the thermal state of engine components crucial for performance and safety. So, what are the factors affecting temperature? So, first, we have the cooling system performance. So, effective cooling systems maintain optimal operating temperature, preventing overheating and ensuring efficiency. So, may mga coolers tayo dyan. Next, we have the combustion temperature. Excessively high temperatures can indicate problems such as poor combustion or fuel quality issues and can lead to engine damage. And ambient conditions. So, syempre, pag nasa mainit ka lugar, syempre, mahirapan din yung makina mo. So, it will also affect engine performance. So, ambient conditions, external temperatures affect engine performance. Operations in extreme heat or cold can require adjustments to ensure proper functioning of the engine. Okay, other parameter that affect engine performance is pressure. So, the force exerted by fluids, air, and fuel within the engine system. So, pressure. So, factors affecting pressure. So, we have the intake and exhaust systems. So, kung makikita natin dito, meron tayong diagram. So, it is a draw diagram. So, makikita natin dito yung mga temperatures, yung pressures natin ng engine at different angle ng ating crank angle. So, makikita natin dito kung na-achieve ba natin yung optimum na pressure or hindi. Okay, intake and exhaust systems. Proper design and maintenance of intake and exhaust systems are critical for maintaining optimal pressure for combustion and expulsion of exhaust gases. Next, we have the boost pressure. In turbocharged engines, boost pressure significantly affects performance. Maintaining proper levels is crucial. And then, for fuel injection pressure, correct fuel injection pressure ensures efficient atomization and combustion, directly impacting power and emissions of the engine. Next, another parameter that affect engine performance is the levels of oil, coolant, and fuel. So, the levels of lubricating oil, coolant, and fuel are critical for safe and efficient engine operation. So, syempre, pag mababa na yan, pwedeng makasira ng makina. Pag mababa yung langis mo, mababa na yung coolant mo, or pag wala ng fuel, syempre, mamamatay yung makina mo. So, factors affecting levels. Routine monitoring. So, kailangan irregular checks and maintenance to ensure levels are within safe operating ranges are vital for engine health. So, check natin yan every duty, yung ating mga levels ng ating machineries. Leak prevention. So, regular inspections to identify and address leaks prevents catastrophic failures and ensure operational safety. And then, oil quality. Using the right grade of oil and maintaining it helps reduce friction and wear, impacting efficiency and longevity. Another parameter that affect engine performance, we have the flow of air or fuel or coolant. So, syempre, flow. Pag nawala yung flow, nagkaroon ng clogging, so, maaring makaapekto sa engine performance natin yan. So, definition, the movement of air, fuel, and coolant through the engine system is critical for performance. So, factors affecting flow, so intake and exhaust design. Proper design can enhance airflow, improving combustion efficiency and power output. Fuel system integrity, so clogged filters or improper injector operation can disrupt fuel flow, affecting performance and efficiency of the engine. Cooling system function, so adequate coolant flow is essential to maintain optimal engine temperatures and prevent overheating. So another parameters that affect engine performance is safe working practices, syempre. So first, we should follow regular maintenance, establish a maintenance schedule to regularly inspect and service engine components, monitoring systems, implement real-time monitoring for key parameters to detect issues early and ensure safe operations. So nagre-reading naman tayo every duty. And then may mga alarms tayo in case of may something wrong. And then training and protocols, so train crew on safe operational practices and emergency procedures, ensuring they understand how to monitor and respond to engine performance metrics. So, hindi ibig sabihin ng training, pupunta ka talaga ng training center. Minsan, yung training ay nangyayari doon sa barko, sa loob ng barko. Minsan, si chief engineer nagtitrain sa atin. Yung mga crew, yung mga senior and engineers, nagtitrain din sila sa atin. Especially sa cadet, tinetrain sila ng mga engineers. Even yung mga oilers ay may inputs din na pwedeng may ituro sa mga cadets. And then next is documentation and compliance. So keep thorough records of maintenance, inspections, and operational practices to comply with regulations and improve safety. So syempre nire-record natin yan, lahat ng mga readings natin. Meron tayong documentation para makita natin yung trend kung okay pa ba yung mga parameters or hindi na. Okay. So those are the parameters that affect engine performance. Okay, so let's dive deeper. So how will we check if our parameters are still okay or not? Okay, so we have here the diesel engine acceptance test record. So sample lang to, nakuha ko to sa isang manual. So acceptance test record. So ito yung record ng engine mo nung bago pa lang siyang binigay or tinest muna siya bago siya ibigay or ibigay sa owner. So ito yung acceptance test record. So pag tanggap mo ng barko, makukuha mo rin yung acceptance test record mo. Ito yung mga parameters ng engine mo na bago pa lang yung makina. So bagong-bago pa yung makina, ito yung acceptance test record natin. So this is an example. So sa diesel engine acceptance test record, makita natin dyan yung makikita natin dyan. Okay, nandito yung engine type, yung order number, engine number mo ng makina mo. We have the atmospheric conditions during test run. We have the test bed, engine data. We have the generator type, crankshaft emission, etc. Okay, so there are different, these are the degrees. Inlet opens before top dead center, 45 degrees, 5 degrees, 40 degrees, 45 degrees. So these are different information of the engine. And here are the temperatures and pressures, the measurements of the engine during testing. So sa acceptance test record mo yan. Yan yung lahat ng measurements mo. Okay, we have the how many minutes na tumatakbo, ano yung fuel rack mo, RPM, kilowatts. So yung mga information na yan is naibibigay niya pati yung fuel consumption, lubricating temperature and pressure, cooling water pressure, temperature. So yan, meron tayong record yung bago pa yung machineries mo. Okay, so you can compare this acceptance test record doon sa current na measurements mo or parameters mo or reading mo. Okay, so you can compare the newly built engine from your current, kung for example yung makina mo is 4 years old na, so dapat yung measurements is almost or should be dapat malapit sa isa't isa. Pag medyo malayo na, medyo may problema na doon, so kailangan mo nang i-maintain siya or kailangan meron kang gawin para rectify mo yung problem and then mabalik mo kung gaano siya kaganda nung bago pa lang siya. Of course, there are small discrepancies, pero kailangan medyo match sila. Okay, so that is an example of our diesel engine acceptance test record. So pag sampa mo sa barko, merong record yan sa manual. So makita mo doon, ito yung barko nung bago pa siya. And then, pwede mo i-compare sa current reading mo. O mag-reading ka ngayon, ito yung pressure ng langis ko. Check ko nga doon sa bago. Uy, parehas lang. Okay, so good siya. Uy, medyo mataas na, ano kayo problema nito? So baka kailangan ng palitan. 'Di ba? So ganun. At least meron kang record na pwede mong i-compare yung current record mo sa nung bago pa siya yung engine mo. Okay, so this sa ating simulator, meron tayong parameters. So doon makikita natin lahat ng pressures, temperature. So ito yung indicator panel natin doon sa simulator natin. So makikita natin diyan yung load indicator mo, shaft power, propeller speed, ship speed, and then makikita mo yung mga pressures and temperatures ng machineries mo. Okay, so let's check. This is another example of the engine parameters. So this is a different engine naman. I think this is MAN B&W, I'm not sure. So in this, pagsampa natin sa barko, kailangan let's always check the manual. Kasi iba-iba yung barko, iba-iba yung engine parameters niya, iba-iba yung minimum and maximum limits niya. Okay? So, kailangan every sampang mo ng barko, double check mo kasi iba-iba. Almost may konting magka kuan lang at may iba naman na yung parehas lang pero may mga konting yung ibang machineries may iba-iba din yung parameters. So pero konti lang naman yung difference nila. Okay, so let's check first the freshwater cylinder cooling. Okay, so freshwater cylinder cooling natin. So yung cylinder natin, yung liner natin is pinapalamig ng ating freshwater. So yung inlet ng ating cylinder cooling should have a pressure of 3 to 5 bars inlet. Yung outlet wala nang problema diyan kasi paglabas magkakaiba iba na yung pressure diyan. Wala namang filter siguro to. Wala namang filter, so yung kung ano yung inlet, more or less same din yung outlet. Unless lang kung may problema. Okay, and then temperature, minimum temperature ng ating cylinder cooling is 70 degrees sa inlet. Okay, so ito yun din yung temperature natin sa preheater. 'Di ba? Yung before tayo mag-start ng makina, pinipreheat natin at up to 70 degrees. So yun yung parang pinapainit na natin yung makina natin para makapag-expand na yung ating liner and then para ma-prevent din yung thermal shock ng engine. And then yung cylinder cooling outlet naman is minimum 85 degrees to 95 degrees. Pag lumagpas na ng 95 degrees, high temperature alarm na yan. Okay? So 85 to 95 degrees Celsius yung range ng ating outlet of each cylinder. So, pinaprevent natin na umabot siya ng 100 kasi yung tubig, pag dumating na ng 100 degrees is kumukulo na siya and then nawawala na yung kanyang cooling properties. So, kasi nagiging steam na siya. Okay, so wala nang dadaloy na fresh water papunta sa yung machineries pag kumulo na yun. Okay, turbocharger cooling, we have inlet turbocharger 1 to 4.5 degrees yung pressure niya ng kanyang cooling. And then, yung temperature, minimum temperature niya sa inlet is 65 and then sa outlet is 90 degrees. So, syempre, mainit talaga yung turbocharger. So, hindi siya nilagay sa 85, 90 talaga siya. Okay, sa pag tumaas na yan, maximum na yung 90. So, pag sumobra na dyan, kailangan ng may gawin tayo. Okay, another high temperature scavenge air cooler. Inlet is 3 to 5 bars. Same lang din ng cylinder cooling. Pero yung temperature niya is 65 minimum and 80 maximum sa inlet. Sa charge air cooler to. And then maximum is 120 degrees. So medyo malaki. Two-stage scavenge air cooler. 120 sabi dito. So medyo mataas. Okay. Next, we have the low temperature circuit. We have 2 to 4 bars and 25 to 36 degrees Celsius. So kung ating titingnan dun sa ating simulator, parang 30, ano bang nandun? 34 ba yon? Yung setting ng ating low temperature. And then yung high temperature is 85, parang ganon. Okay, so pag medyo mataas na yung difference ng ating inlet and yung ano to, inlet lang pala to. So pag check natin ng inlet at outlet, dapat yung maximum difference niya is 20 degrees lamang. Pag sumobra ng 20 degrees, so kailangan ng linisan yung charge air cooler mo or scavenge air cooler mo. Or maximum 20 degrees yan. Pwede naman kahit konti lang yung difference niya. Pag sa tingin mo matagal na siyang hindi nalinisan, linisan mo rin din. 'Di ba? So hindi na antayin na tumaas pa. Okay, low temperature single stage scavenge air cooler. So maximum 44 degrees yung differential niya sa low temperature. Okay, for seawater conventional sa lumang cooling, conventional cooling, meron din naman silang setting dyan. Okay, next we have for the lube oil, high pressure. Crosshead bearing oil, 10 to 12 yung pressure. And then yung temperature is 40 to 50. So, 50 na max sa ating lube oil. Pag tumaas pa ng more than 50 yan is mag-high temperature na yan kasi masyadong malabnaw na yung langis mo. So, pag masyadong malabnaw na yung langis mo, wala nang lubrication na nangyayari. Free and balancer, 4.5 to 6. Okay, so focus na tayo sa mga main lang muna. Main bearing oil, inlet, 4 to 4.8. So, mas mababa yung main bearing natin kaysa sa crosshead bearing. And then, same lang din yung kanyang temperature, 40 to 50. 50 maximum na yan. So, di rin pwede na masyadong malamig kasi pag masyadong malamig naman, bakit nilagyan nilang minimum 40. Piston cooling oil is 40 to 50 din yung inlet. And yung outlet is maximum 80 degrees. So, walang problema sa outlet kasi medyo mainit talaga yan kasi piston na yung pinapalamig natin. So, mainit talaga yung lumalabas. Importante, yung pumapasok is malamig or 40 to 50. Meron lang tayong differential maximum 30. Pag sobran na, masyadong mainit na, so, check na natin. Baka medyo piston cooling oil natin is medyo maliit na lang yung pumupunta or mainit na masyado yung langis natin. And thrust bearing oil, 60 degrees maximum yung outlet nya. Turbocharger bearing oil is 120. Medyo mataas talaga yan kasi turbocharger dyan dumadaan yung itang exhaust temperature. Okay, next for fuel, meron tayong booster system, injection pump. Inlet, 7 to 10. Yung pressure niya, system pressure, 7 to 10. Pero yung sa amin na try na sa simulator natin, up to 15 bar sila. Ay, 9 bar lang pala yon. Pero yung mga nasampahan ko is 12 bar usual. And then, maximum temperature of fuel is 150. Pero ito ay depende sa fuel mo. Kasi may mga low quality fuel, kailangan din ng higher temperature para ma-reach mo yung tamang viscosity niya. So, dapat dito is not dependent sa temperature, kundi sa viscosity tayo dependent. Okay, after pressure, retaining valve. So, paglabas ng ating makina, pupunta na siya pabalik ng ating mixing tank. So, bababa na yung pressure niya sa return, 3 to 5 na lang. Babagsak. Okay, next, we have here for scavenge air. So, we have air filter or silencer. Kailangan, meron tayong gauge pressure, 100 mm water gauge, yung difference niya. So, ano ba yung, bakit millimeter yan? So, for example, ito. So, nakita natin dito, yung inlet ng hangin, yung inlet niya dito is mas mataas kaysa sa outlet. Ibig sabihin na, medyo madumi na yung pasok ng hangin. So, hindi na, yung pumapasok na hangin is, hindi na lahat nakakalabas kasi madumi na sa gitna. So, medyo tumataas yung pressure dito sa inlet, dito banda sa right side, o left side, inlet, kaysa sa outlet. So, pag ganon, medyo may difference na yung level niya. So, pag yan, umabot na ng 100 mm yung difference ng height niya, ng pula na yan, ibig sabihin, pag lumagpas sa 100, ibig sabihin, hindi na maganda yung, madumi na yung filter mo. Dito naman sa ducting and filter, 200 mm yung maximum. And then sa scavenge air cooler, 300 pag bago, 500 pag fouled na. So, 500 yung limit. Pag medyo mataas na, 300 yung bago pa lang. Pag umabot na yung 400, pwede kang mag-schedule ng cleaning. Or pag pwede yung paabutin 500, wag lang lumagpas dyan. Or depende sa biyahe nyo. Diba? Pag medyo matagal pa yung biyahe nyo, o medyo mahaba yung biyahe nyo sunod, pwede mo linisan mo lang ngayon pag okay na. So, ito yung ating charge air cooler, and then nandito yung ating YouTube manometer yan. Ito yung U. Itong U na to is nandyan. So, dyan yung YouTube manometer natin. Para ma-check kung okay pa yung scavenge air natin. Okay, for starting air, we have 12 bar minimum and syempre 25 to 30 bar yung maximum niyan. Control air 6.5 yung minimum and 9 bar. Usually 7 bar kasi yung control air natin. Depende sa barko. Sa barkong ito is 7 bar yung control air nila. Air spring of exhaust valve is 7 bar din. Pag bumaba ng 6.5, mag-aalarma na yan. Pag bumaba pa lalo, magkakaroon na ng shutdown ng makina. Okay, next for the exhaust gas. So, exhaust pipe natin after cylinder is maximum 515 degrees Celsius. Pag lumagpas na ng 515 degrees Celsius, magkakaroon na ng high temperature alarm ng ating exhaust. Pati sa turbocharger inlet, 515 degrees Celsius din siya. And then we have deviation of plus minus 50 degrees. Pag sumobra ng 50 degrees yung deviation ng temperature na exhaust on each cylinder, so magkakaroon na ng alarma. So pag tuloy-tuloy yan, hindi na maganda, hindi na balanse yung makina mo, so maring makasira sa makina. So kailangan hindi lumagpas ng plus minus 50 degrees Celsius yung difference ng each cylinder ng exhaust mo, or each exhaust ng cylinder mo. Okay, manifold after turbocharger, we have 300 mm water gauge. So pag madumi na, 500 mm water gauge na. Okay, so that's it. So that's example of some parameters or mga limits niya. Okay, dito naman tayo sa next. Parameters pa rin. Okay. So ito yung makina natin. Meron tayong scavenge air pressure papunta ng ating governor control. Merong RPM, itong taco pickups, RPM papunta diyan sa governor. And then other mga alarms papunta sa governor. And then we have also the local bridge telegraph. We have the remote control system, safety system. So yan, konektado yan lahat sa governor. Pati yung sa ating local, meron actuator junction box sa actuator, papunta governor. And then digital governor system, console with control unit. Sa engine control room naman, papunta din governor yan. Any alarm, any shutdown, slowdown, so isi-send nila sa governor para yung governor mag-slow down, mag-shutdown sa makina, depende sa mga alarms or problema. Okay, so pupuntahan natin ngayon yung mga parameters, yung mga slowdown alarms. Pupuntahan natin yung mga alarms natin. Kasi alam natin yung parameters, pero hindi natin kailangan alam din natin yung mga alarms, yung mga slowdown and shutdown ng engine natin, para ma-prevent natin na mag-shutdown siya in the middle of traffic areas or depende sa lugar, di ba? Okay, so what are the main engine slowdown and shutdown alarms or trips? So, info base from Kongsberg with Sulzer RTA-84 engine. So, ito yung usual mga alarms natin, pero marami pa tayong alarms. Ito lang yung mga most common alarms. So, for main engine shutdown, we have the lube oil pressure. Pag medyo mababa na talaga yung langis mo, yung pressure ng langis mo, automatic mag-shutdown yung makina kasi pag nawala ng langis yung makina mo, masira yan. Cylinder cooling pressure, piston cooling flow, air spring pressure, overspeed. Yan, pag yung cylinder cooling pressure, pag wala ng cooling yung ating cylinder, automatic mag-shutdown siya to prevent na mag-crack yung liner natin or masira yung makina natin. Piston cooling flow, pag nawala yung piston cooling mo, mamamatay yung makina kasi mawawala ng cooling yung piston mo, masira yung piston mo, magka-crack or ano mangyari. Air spring pressure naman, so pag nawala yung air spring pressure mo, bumaba siya, na hindi na gumagana yung exhaust valve mo kasi yung exhaust valve mo is air spring yung pang-close niya. Yung pang-open niya is oil or hydraulic or lube oil lang yung gamit, hydraulically pino-open niya, pero yung nagpapa-close sa ating exhaust valve is piston, is air or control air or air spring pressure. So pag mababa na yung air spring pressure mo, hindi niya ma-close yung exhaust valve mo, maaaring magkaroon ng misfiring yung makina mo. So to prevent that from happening, masira yung makina, isa-shutdown niya yung makina mo. And then overspeed, pag sobra na yung RPM ng makina mo, isa-shutdown niya yun. Okay, next we have the main engine slowdown. So usually yung lube oil pressure may slowdown yan before ma-activate yung shutdown. So ito lahat, cylinder cooling pressure and temperature. So meron siyang slowdown alarm. Piston cooling temperature, meron yung slowdown bago yung shutdown. Exhaust temperature, slow down. Pag medyo mataas na yung exhaust temperature mo, slow down niya para bumaba yung exhaust. Miss and others. Marami pa. And then for failure, ito yung mga main engine fail. Pag nag-start tayo, hindi siya makapag-start. So ito yung possible failure. At either nag-start fail, reversing fail, braking fail, starting air pressure mababa, or and others. So many more. Okay, load limitations. So, ano ba yung load limitations? So, nililimit niya yung makina, ng load ng makina mo hanggang dito lang yung kaya niya. Especially pag na-achieve na-activate niya itong limitations. We have the thermal limitations, medyo mainit na siya. Bababaan niya yung load. Scavenge air limitations and torque limitations. And then, others, we have your safety override. So, pag nag-main engine shutdown, pwede natin yang i-override, i-acknowledge, i-restart, or i-set natin para ma-prevent yung shutdown, especially pag nag-normal na yung tulad nung nangyari sa amin is bagyo siya and then yung barko is medyo rolling masyado and then biglang nawala yung pressure ng langis, so nag-activate yung slowdown and shutdown at the same time. Pero biglang nakabalik yung barko kasi sobrang rolling sa kabilang side, tapos bumalik siya, tapos yung pressure niya is nag-normal ulit. And then, napindot namin yung, napindot ni second engineer yung alarm, acknowledge, and reset. So, na-reset agad. So, hindi tuloy-tuloy nag-shutdown yung makina. Bumalik siya sa normal yung speed. Okay, meron tayong ganyan. Okay, let's go with the alarms. So, itong alarms na to is, usually sa barko, meron naman tayong manual. So, i-check nyo lang parati. Kasi iba-ibang manual, iba-iba yung measurements. Okay, for slowdown, main engine lube oil pressure. So, pag medyo bumaba na yung ating pressure to 3.2 bar, automatic mag-slow down yung makina. And then, pag umabot ng 3 bar, nag-shutdown siya. So, this is to prevent the main engine from being damaged pag nawala yung lube oil mo. Diba? Crosshead lube oil pressure. So, yung slowdown pressure niya is 9 bar. Usually kasi 12 bar tong pressure na ito. So, pag bumaba siya at 9 bar, mag-slow down yung makina mo. To prevent na mawala ng langis yung ating crosshead. And then, main engine cooling water inlet pressure. So, yung cooling water ng ating main engine, cooling water inlet is 2.45 bar. Slow down. Usually, 3 bar naman to, 3 to 5 bar. Diba? So, or depende sa barko mo. So, pag bumaba siya, nawalan siguro ng cooling water, nasira yung pump, or nagkaroon ng hangin, or ano bang nangyari. So, bababa yung pressure niya. Pag bumaba yung pressure niya, magkakreate siya ng slowdown sa makina. To prevent na mag-overheat yung makina mo. Kasi pag nawala naman ng cooling yung makina mo, umiinit yan. So, meron tayong sa pressure, slowdown, and shutdown. And then, sa temperature naman, at 95 degrees Celsius, magsa-slowdown yung makina mo. So, wala siyang shutdown. So, dito sa makinang to, Sulzer. Main engine piston lube oil outlet temperature, we have 85 degrees Celsius. Piston lube oil outlet temperature, 85. Slow down na siya. Main engine piston lube oil flow is 2 kg per second. Pag bumaba na yung piston lube oil flow mo to 2 kg per second, magsha-shutdown na yung makina mo. Okay, another slowdown and shutdown. So, main engine cylinder exhaust temperature, maximum is 520 degrees Celsius. Slow down na siya. Kanina is parang 515 ata yon, yung maximum niya dun sa isang machinery or isang makina. Dito naman sa Sulzer is 520 yung slowdown na yan. So, slowdown na yung 520. Cylinder exhaust deviation temperature is 70 degrees yung exhaust deviation niya. Usually, pag nag-alarma yan, 50 degrees, diba? Yung kanina, 50 degrees yung deviation mo na exhaust. Pag lumagpas na siya ng 50, naging 70 degrees na yung deviation ng exhaust mo. So, nagsuslow down na yung makina mo. Turbocharger exhaust inlet temperature is 530 maximum. Pag umabot na ng 530, magsuslow down na yung makina mo. And then, yung main engine overspeed natin is 110 RPM. Pag umabot na siya ng 110 RPM, mag-shut down na yung makina mo. So, that is our overspeed protection. So, sa exam siguro, we will focus on the Sulzer na lang para hindi tayo mahirapan, hindi na natin titingnan yung isa. Dito na tayo mag-focus sa Sulzer na mga parameters and alarms and shutdown and slowdown. Okay, main engine exhaust valve air spring pressure, slow down siya at 6 bar. And then mag-shutdown siya at 4.5 bar. So medyo mababa na to kasi usual naman ng ating air spring pressure is 7 bar pataas, di ba? So 6.5 to 8. So 7 bar 'yan. So pag bumaba na yung exhaust valve air spring, mag-slow down 'yan or mag-shutdown sa makina. Main engine low boil inlet temperature is 55 degrees. So 55 degrees pa lang inlet temperature, medyo mainit na 'yan. Kailangan malamig yung inlet natin. So at 55 degrees, mag-slow down yung makina. Yung thrust bearing naman at 65 degrees Celsius, mag-slow down yung makina mo. Okay, sa oil mist detection naman, pag umabot na ng 60% yung oil mist na detection mo dun sa crankcase mo, so it may cause explosion sa crankcase mo. So, pag 60%, slow down agad yung makina mo. Hindi na natin antayin yung 100% at sasabog na yung crankcase mo. Turbocharger bearing low oil temperature is 120 degrees Celsius. Yung temperature niyan. So, mainit talaga yan kasi exhaust yung dumadaan sa ating turbocharger. Turbocharger casing cooling water temperature is 94 degrees Celsius. Turbocharger vibration. So, 70 degrees Celsius. I think this is wrong. Parang mali ito. Yung unit. Main engine cylinder oil flow. Air circle. Charge air outlet temperature 70 degrees. So, medyo mataas na yung charge air. Kasi yung charge air temperature natin, kailangan pinapalamig, di ba? Pinapalamig natin yung charge air. Dinadaan natin sa charge air cooler para lumamig siya. Mas malamig, mas natatanggal natin yung mga moisture. Kasi yung moisture na yun, pag pumasok sa ating combustion chamber, maaaring mag-mix siya sa ating lubrication sa piston and liner and masira yung lubrication natin doon. So, magkikiskisan yung ating piston and liner, di ba? So, kailangan pinapalamig natin yon para ma-remove natin yung tubig sa ating or moisture sa ating charge air. And then, para mas malamig, mas maraming volume yung may pasok mo sa ating combustion chamber, so mas mataas yung power na mag-create mo. So, kailangan, usual dito is up to 40 degrees lang yung ating charge air outlet. Pag umabot na ng 70 yun, slow down na ng makina yan. Hindi na maganda yan. And cylinder scavenge air box temperature. Pag umabot na ng 120, ibig sabihin, possible, pwede na siyang masunog, magkaroon ng explosion sa loob ng scavenge box natin. So, to prevent that, at 120 degrees, slow down agad yung makina mo. Okay, other starting fail limit, starting failure. So, pag tatlong beses ka na nag-attempt mag-start ng makina, tapos nag-fail, so, magkakaroon ng fail limit. So, alarma yan. And then, pag hindi mo ma-acknowledge or ma-rectify yung problem, yung alarm, so, hindi siya magsa-start na. Reversing failure. So, baka mali yung composition ng mo. So, mag-failure yan. So, hindi magsa-start yung makina. Braking failure. The engine speed is too high. So, medyo mataas na yung speed niya pag start pa lang. So, ipe-prevent niya, may start-fail limits tayo. Starting air pressure low at 12 bar, hindi ka na pwedeng mag-start ng makina. Starting air supply valve close, pag yung nakasarado yung starting air supply valve natin, syempre, hindi rin pwedeng ma-start yung makina, mag-start fail limit yan. Low pressure control air pressure low, 5 bar. So, usually 7 bar yan, yung control air. So, pag nag 5 bar yan, so, hindi ka na pwedeng mag-start ng makina. So, magkakaroon tayo ng start fail limits. Next, yung turning gear, pag naka-engaged yan, so hindi ka pwede mag-start na makina. Protection natin yan. Baka may nag-maintenance kasi kaya naka-engage yan. Diba? Okay, these are the different alarms of our engine. So, let's, puntahan lang natin yung medyo you can check the different alarms of our LT and HT pressure. We have L here, low set point and lower set point, and the H is the higher set point. So, for example, the freshwater expansion tank level natin, yung 0.4 meter, yan yung low level alarm niya. Alarm lang to, alarm. So, walang shutdown, walang slowdown, alarms lang. So, yung low level alarm is 0.4 and then yung high level alarm is 1.7 meters sa freshwater expansion tank. So you can check the different measurements there. Okay. So yung mga ito naman is makikita mo naman to sa manual. So medyo marami yan. So these are the engine lube oil system alarms. So low boil temperature inlet ng engine 40 to 50 degrees Celsius yung kanyang low temperature alarm and high temperature alarm. And then may pressure dyan, filter differential pressure 1 bar. Pag lumagpas na ng 1 bar, alarma yung filter mo differential, so madumi na yung filter mo. Different, yan yung mga next. Yan. So sarami niyan. Next, we have here the cylinder oil lubrication. Ito yung lubricator natin. So kailangan meron yang low alarm na 0.3 kg per hour. So mag-activate yung alarm yan. So shutdown signals. So may mga signals tayo, shutdown. So auto chief, shutdown, slow down, fail. So ma-activate yan doon, makita natin sa auto chief kung ano ba yung alarm natin, shutdown ba, alarm, slow down ba, or failure lang. And then meron tayong different shutdown to shutdown. So shutdown 1-1 is main lobe oil pressure signal 1. So yung main lobe oil pressure natin pag umabot ng 3 bar, bumaba yung pressure to 3 bar, magsi-shutdown siya. Pero for example, hindi nag-fail yung shutdown sa 3 bar, mas bumaba pa siya to 2.7 bar, magsisend ulit siya ng additional na shutdown. So parang dual siya, parang dalawang safety. If ever mag-fail yung unang shutdown mo, mayroon pa siyang additional pangalawang shutdown. So kasi minsan nagfe-fail yung mga sensors natin, nagfe-fail yung mga machineries natin, so kailangan may parang backup. Okay? So yan yung mga different shutdown. So meron tayong signal 1 and signal 2 on different. Sa exhaust valve air spring, same lang yung pressure 4.5 bar, pero dalawa yung shutdown niya. Kasi if ever nag-fail yung isa, may additional naman na isa pa na pwedeng mag-shutdown sa makina. So dalawang sensor yan, magkaiba yung sensor. Engine speed signal 1 and signal 2. So dalawang sensor, same lang, 110 RPM yung setting. So if ever nag-fail yung isa, hindi nakapag-shutdown, possible mag-shutdown pa rin yung isa. Okay. So next. So there's the slowdown. Pati yung slowdown, meron din tayong mga, meron ba? Wala. Wala pala tayong parang backup. So yung shutdown lang yung pinaka may backup. So main level pressure 3.2 bars, crosshead 9 bars. So same lang to sa kanina. Okay. So main slowdown signals, ito mga slowdown signals din yan lahat. Okay. Tapos na naman tayo dyan. Okay, we have the main cylinder pressure. So yung pressure ng cylinder natin na compression test. So high 190 bar pressure. So yun yung high niya. Pag nagka-high na, mag-alarma na siya. So tinetesting naman natin yan, compression test, every now and then. Okay, miscellaneous signal, different other additional signals na alarms natin. So hindi natin yan isa-isahin. We have the main engine liner cooling 90 degrees Celsius from cylinder 1 to 12, dosing cylinder yan, 90 degrees Celsius yung alarm. Kasi yung slowdown natin is 95, di ba? Kung ma-remember nyo kanina, 95 degrees yung slowdown, 90 degrees yung alarm. Okay. So piston cooling, 80 degrees yung alarm. Yan. Cylinder liner temperature, we have 110 to 240. So liner metal temperature, yan. Pag umabot na yung mga alarma yan. Yan. Exhaust temperature, ito yung exhaust temperature natin. Makikita natin dyan lahat ng mga exhaust temperature natin. At 480, mag-alarma na siya. Yung, ano ba yung shutdown natin? 520 ba yun? Hindi ba? Parang 520. Okay. So, cylinder exhaust temperature deviation is at 40 degrees Celsius yung deviation ng ating exhaust dyan. Yung deviation ng isa't isa is alarm na siya. Yung kanina, yung slowdown ba yun? Slowdown, 70 degrees ba yung deviation? So, 40 is alarm. Cylinder exhaust, okay. Scavenge air temperature. Yan. Turbocharger alarms, meron din. Marami yan, turbocharger alarms. We have the turbocharger auxiliary systems alarm, lube oil and lube oil supply. So may mga alarma din tayo niyan. Main bearings natin at 75 degrees Celsius. Thrust bearing temperature, magkakaroon ng high temperature alarm. Yung main bearing at 85 is high temperature alarm, and thrust bearing lube oil outlet temperature at 60 degrees Celsius is alarm, high temperature alarm. Okay, main engine crank bearing. So ito yung temperature natin ng crank bearings natin. Usually 24 degrees lang yan. Ay hindi pala tumatakbo yung makina. Yan, mababa. So yan, yung temperature ng crank pin bearing natin is at 85 degrees Celsius. Kailangan na tayong mag-alarma dyan. Crosshead bearing is 90 degrees Celsius alarm. Oil mist detect monitor, 40% alarm. Kasi yung 60% is slow down na siya. Piston ring monitor, ito yung mga piston ring natin. Kailangan minomonitor din yung temperature. Pag medyo mataas na, nag-high level alarm din yan. Okay, so those are different alarms on our engine. So, if you have any question, feel free to comment na lang or message me. Okay, so those are the different parameters of the engine. Different parameters of the engine, the shutdown, slowdown, the alarms, and yung mga kailangan, yung mga parameters na nakaka-affect ng ating engine performance. Nandiyan na rin. Okay, so I hope you have learned something new today, and on our next video we will be discussing about what's next, indicator diagrams on our next video. Okay, so I'll see you on our next video. Please do subscribe, like, and share our video to your friends. Thank you and goodbye.